What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Before I get into this video, I want to remind you guys, if you want to donate to this channel, if you want to show love to Too Raw for TV and the content that I provide, I put a link in the description box where you can donate to this channel if you choose to. Now, Game 4 between the Milwaukee Bucks and Toronto Raptors was pretty much more of the same from what we saw in Game 3. Toronto just played like the hungrier team, the better team, and they pretty much dominated Milwaukee Bucks and won by the final score of 120 to 102, and they evened the series at 2 games apiece. The Milwaukee Bucks missed a golden opportunity to steal one of these games. I really thought Milwaukee was going to steal one of these games, and they didn't do it. All right, so now they have to rely on 2 things. They have to rely on the fact that this is now a best-of-3 series, and 2 of those games are at Milwaukee. But what they really should try to do is steal Game 6 and end this series in 6. They're more than capable of doing it. All right, more than capable of doing it. Look, I don't want to blame officiating, but it's obvious that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not getting the same calls when he's playing in Toronto as opposed to when he's playing at home in Milwaukee. That's to be expected to an extent. Okay, that's to be expected, but at the same time, it is what it is, man. The NBA has always been a business, all right, and it's in the league's best interest, especially since the Western Conference Finals was a 4-game sweep. It's in the league's best interest for this series to go 7 games, all right, sort of even things out financially. Now, one of the key things in this game was, Milwaukee's always been known for having probably the best bench in the NBA. But you would have known it from looking at this game. I don't know the exact numbers. I thought I saw on Inside the NBA they said that Toronto's bench scored 48 points, only 26 for the Bucks. That's an eye-opening disparity. Another thing I'm noticing, man, is this fucking Norman Powell, man. This guy has to be averaging close to 20 points per game in this series against Milwaukee. I think he had, let me see, it was 18. Yeah, 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Van Vliet had the best offensive game, I think, all playoffs for, this year's been a struggle for Van Vliet. He had a great 2018 postseason, but it's been a different story this year. But last night he had 13 points and 6 assists. Serge Ibaka, another great game, coming off the bench for the Toronto Raptors with 17 points and 13 rebounds. Kyle Lowry, 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Remember, he had 30 points in Game 1, which is kind of wasted because they lost Game 1, the Toronto Raptors. Marc Gasol, after struggling the first couple of games in the series, had a second consecutive great game, 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. Siakam did not score much, but he did have 6 assists. Kawhi Leonard has not looked himself. He doesn't have the same explosiveness that we normally see with him. And he didn't look himself. He only had 19 points and didn't shoot particularly well. But the difference is, as Charles Barkley would say, he got help. He got help, and Giannis didn't. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he did get help from Chris Middleton, who scored 30 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 7 assists. But other than that, he did not get much help. The only other player who scored in double figures was Mirotic with 11. Eric Bledsoe, you motherfucker. You haven't done shit this playoffs, Eric Bledsoe. You haven't done shit. Okay? I do not understand Bledsoe. I don't get him. I don't understand him. He had that one great game. I think it was Game 1 against the Detroit Pistons. And since then, he's looked terrible. You know, um, Middleton has had great performances. I thought he stunk it up the last game, but he redeemed himself. Bledsoe, what the fuck, man? You can't shoot threes. You're only shooting like 23% in the playoffs in threes, but you just continue to shoot fucking threes. I don't fucking understand it. I don't get it. But it wasn't just him, you know. Nobody really was hitting much, you know what I'm saying? And Game 5 is pivotal. I think whoever wins Game 5 is going to win this series. And I think that's what it's pretty much going to be, man. Whoever wins Game 5 is going to win this series. And Milwaukee Bucks, what they got to do, you're not going to be in this. You're not going to be in a scenery of adversity. You're going to be at home. Uh, the crowd cheering behind you. If that's not enough to motivate the Milwaukee Bucks, then maybe they aren't destined to win a title. All right. Don't let the pressure get to you. You're at home, and just take care of business and play the same type of basketball you guys been playing all year. Beat a team that won 60 ball games. All right. And I think they'll be okay. Now, this is what I want to say too. I notice a lot of people are saying this. A lot of the Milwaukee Buck detractors and Giannis haters. They're saying shit like, people thought this Milwaukee Bucks team could do something. They're struggling with the Raptors. They struggling. This series is tied. You see what Golden State did to Portland? They swept the motherfuckers. If they struggling with Toronto, what makes people think they're gonna be able to even beat the Golden State Warriors? Stupid shit like that. Now I'm not saying the Milwaukee Bucks are on the level of the Jordan Bulls. I'm not, but I'm just gonna use this as an example. 1998 playoffs, right? In the Western Conference, you had in the Western Conference Finals, you had the Utah Jazz, who had Karl Malone. They won 62 games that year, and if I'm not mistaken, uh, the Utah Jazz swept the Chicago Bulls in the season series 2-0. Right? They swept them 2-0, and although both teams won 62 games because they swept the series, Utah had home court advantage when they played each other in the finals, the Chicago Bulls, right? And anyway, in the Western Conference Series, you had Utah Jazz, the 97 MVP Karl Malone, John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, right? All right. And you had the star-studded Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal, the young rising phenom Kobe Bryant. And Utah swept their ass, right? Utah, this pick and roll oil machine. Jerry Sloan, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Jerry Sloan is a better coach than Phil Jackson. All that shit I remember hearing. The Bulls, they struggled against the Pacers. They struggled, and Phil Jackson is being exposed. He's being exposed as overrated coach. Larry Bird is out coaching him. He's exposed. Series went 7 games. The Bulls look old. Jordan look old. Pippen's beat up. Rodman his head not in the game anymore. The Bulls just look. This is the worst Bulls team in Jordan championship era. The Utah Jazz are going to sweep this team, or they're going to beat them in 5. And Utah did win game 1 of that series. Then the Bulls proceeded to win 4 of the next 5 games. Now, I'm not saying that Giannis is going to win a championship. I'm not saying Giannis is going to hit a championship winning shot like Jordan in Game 6. If he does do that, I want full credit here. But you can't go off of the spread of series and how a series plays out. They're different entities. They're different battles. You know what I'm saying? Matchups. And let's be honest, the Toronto Raptors are a better team than the Portland Trailblazers. And also, if I'm not mistaken, both Toronto and Milwaukee came into Oracle Arena and beat that ass this year. So let's not act like the Toronto Raptors or the Milwaukee Bucks can't beat the Golden State Warriors. Now, whether you think that's going to happen or not, it's a different story, especially if they don't have Kevin Durant. Um, and either way, whether it's Toronto or Milwaukee, the Eastern Conference finalists will have home court advantage. So I don't know about whether it's going to be this 4-game sweep in the finals, by the Golden State Warriors. All right. I just think that, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't know whether or not Curry's going to go off to the extent that he did in the Western Conference championship round that he would against either of these teams. I don't see him averaging 36 points per game. Maybe 26, but not 36. All right. But that's just me. Tell me what you guys think.